I know watch it and tell me so. Do I go? Nope. I don't know what he's talking about unless someone else tells me. So that's why we can't get all along.
They make fun of you on a daily.
People don't want to get along with me because they know what getting along with me means.
Really not any beef with Nina. A beef with Nina would mean we had to actually care about her. So, right. No, there's no beef with Nina.
There's no beef with any of them. They're the ones with the beef. They're the ones with the problem. I'm just over here sitting here trying to tell you about the fucking case. I don't care whose hobby horse she's riding. I don't care who her best friend is and how dumb or not dumb you think she is. I don't give a shit that Toddy One Skip wants to sit over there and talk shit on me about my dog when she knows nothing about me. And he makes the statement, well, I don't care enough to actually call it in
over the fucking
so that it could be investigated. No. Nay.
JJ and I were on that live. Like, are you kidding me with this shit?
You just run your mouth. Well, go
that's
do
where I get upset. Like, dude,
just don't come talk to me about it. If you want to
say shit that I truly do say or do, okay. But when you're going to make up shit about me, I'm telling you what, dude.
Tara, because every once in a while I get brought up where I am in a live and I have to talk about it because someone asks me a question, which is what happened this morning, which is why I decided to address it because, of course, I said something negative about Cash, so they're going to run back over and tell Cash, and then they're going to go to Morbid, and then Morbid's going to start a whole big thing, and his little mean girl crew is going to sit there and bash me while Starlight sits there quiet. And the only reason I can think that she's sitting there quiet is he's paying her. I can't think of any other reason.
I really don't know.
I can't think of any
I'm done with all of them, to be honest. I really don't give a shit about any of them.
I don't entertain this. That's the problem, and they get really pissed that I don't entertain them. So then, instead of just
now we're entertaining it.
They have to follow
entertaining it right now, though.
And they destroy people's lives. Not mine. Not mine. They go into Jen's live, and if I'm up there, they destroy that. If I'm on KJ's live, they destroy that. If I go into another panel, they all flood the panel, and they all try to destroy and derail the panel. Because why? Because when I'm up on a panel, we're not talking about bullshit. We're talking about actual facts and evidence,
no, I've heard
and they don't want that out there.
Straight out about Fancy Celeste. My opinion of Apple has changed so much. I'm so disappointed in her, to be honest.
Because if I do...
We're about done.
Why can't they just move on from this BS and leave everyone alone? That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
I understand, Crystal, but here's the thing. Starlight claims to be my friend. And if Starlight were my friend, I don't know. When I am in a room where someone's talking really poorly about my friend and I know it's not true, I do one of two things. I say something or I leave. I don't sit there quietly allowing them to say these things about my friend while I just sit there, because my silence indicates that I'm agreeing with them.
I mean, seriously, especially when they're talking about ABUSC.
Oh, Deborah, no, she accused me of animal abuse. You go F yourself. Go watch the damn video.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Why are you all in here? What are you doing in here? What do you want?
You must have unblocked
I can help you all with. Is there a question you'd like me to answer so I can make sure I credit you for it?
You unblocked everybody. That's why.
Big old bad old Fancy is fighting all of you because I won't stand up for the bullshit that you guys do. Is that what it is? Because that's it. If I see something that I don't agree with, guess what I do? I call it out. I don't care who it is. I call my husband out on shit. Ask him. He'll tell you. I call his bullshit all the fucking time. No, that's bullshit, Craig. No. I don't stand around and just let people fucking say bullshit things. Just like I called the bullshit out about what I think the TikTok ban was about and what I think they've done. I also will call out shit about politics. I will call out things about other things that I see wrong. What bad behavior is that, whimsical mama? What bad behavior? I'd like to know. Give me an example, one actual real example of bad behavior from me. Love to know. No? Didn't think so. So this is the problem. Anyway, look what I got for my birthday from my daughter. Isn't this cool?
Oh, puzzle book.
A true crime one. I've been
that's cool.
So I'm going to post them like I'm going to do like a daily, like a weekly post, I think, one a week or whatever, maybe 2 a week, depending on how big this book is. It's like 100 and some odd pages. So that'll get us through most of the year, like half a year. So if I post them once a week or twice a week, then we should be able to have, be able to do these for a long time. I thought that would be fun.
I like it.
I like it too. I think it would be fun. And I love those kind of things. Like can I show inside? Yeah. Like, look, see here. Like it's got these different, there's all kinds of different types of puzzles and stuff.
Wow.
It's got all kinds of different things. When I was a little girl, I think I was like 10. I was in the local bookstore with my mom, and I was looking at books, and I wanted a book, and she's like, no. I don't know where my daughter got it from, probably off Amazon. But I was asking for books, and they were just like stupid books, like just random, like, can I get a babysitter's book? No. Can I get a babysitter's club book? Can I get this? Can I get that? And my mom was like, no. Yeah. Do I call out Israel for genocide? No, but I believe that because I don't believe in that, Feedy. I don't think that's what happened. But I do call out other things. Don't come in here and try to start some political bullshit, please. We're not doing that. I'm not even. In fact, I'm going to block you for even asking that. I'm sorry. You're just trying to cause problems. You're muted. You're muted. Not even going to sit here and deal with that. Okay, so, no, but I call out Hamas for terrorism. Exactly. Thank you, baby. That's what I was looking for. So, I don't care that people are getting blocked. See, you come in here and you act like this in my home. This is my home. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm sitting in my house. I am allowing you into my home. And if you come in my home and you disrespect me, you know what I'm going to tell you to do? Get the fuck out.
Well, that's the whole
show
thing.
You the damn door.
You unblocked everybody when we thought TikTok was going down, so they're all coming in now.
Right. I unblocked all of you on the last night of TikTok, and you know why I did? Because I wanted you to hear me talk about all the things that had happened over the year and how much TikTok had done for actual helping this case.
Right.
So anyway, back to my story. So I was asking for all these dumb books, and we get back to the one area, and on one of the clearance book racks was this book that was like, it was like this big. Seriously, it was like this thick. Okay, even thicker than this maybe, and it was all just like logic problems,
right,
and mysteries and things like this. And I begged my mom, and my mom was like, "All right, that's educational. I can't tell you no." I'm telling you, that book was with me everywhere for years. Aww. Years. Because I would just enjoy doing them and figuring out and showing them to people. And I was like, oh my God, it was such a great book. Like, and it made me have logic skills. It gave me all these things. Like, that was how I was. Like, I loved that kind of stuff, which is why this case has grabbed me in the way it is, because it's just a puzzle to make the connections that we're making now. Her book, whoa. Her book has given us all the little connector dots.
It's been a bigger gem for us than it's been for her.
Ever needed. Hey, Tia, I miss your face too, baby. So, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I am thankful. You know what? And you guys won't go around saying this, but it's what I said. I said that I think that every single person who played a part in this last year helped, whether they were on the wrong side, the right side, doing the right thing, not the right thing, making drama, not drama, to get this out in a way that we never had before.
I think so too.
So regardless of what side you've stood on or who you want to link arms with, this story got pushed because I came to TikTok, and TikTok had more of a reach than any social media platforms combined.
Yep.
We did this all in 2019, 2018, 2017 in Facebook groups where no one knew what we were doing.
Right.
The information that I have is not my own. I don't just have all the information because I did all the work and I want all the credit. No. Those Facebook groups that we participated in for years,
a lot.
They all helped. Why do you think I'm willing to give credit to every single person who came through my door, regardless of whether they're still here and regardless of whether I like them or not? If they did something that made
credit
impact, then they deserve to be credited for their impact. Why do you think I'm so pissed off that Colleen, because of the antics of some of these asshats, doesn't even want to be credited for her work because she's so upset by what they tried to do by trying to take her license away? How shitty is that?
Yep.
A woman with 2 young children who supports her fucking family, who went to school for 11 damn fucking years to get a master's degree in nursing education, and you all petty mofos thinking you knew some shit that you didn't fucking know, tried to literally ruin her life. Oh, and you don't think Christy Blanchard was behind that? I got proof she was. Concrete, 100% proof she was. And I'll be showing that eventually because I have it now. I understand how that happened. And I am absolutely appalled at the people who participated in that, because one of them happens to be an MVP expert who should know better, who has not done their homework. And that's not even Mark Feldman. No one in the Munchausen by proxy industry has done any of their homework. What you are doing is setting back a movement of awareness by years, by continuing to allow this lie of medical child abuse to stand.
Right.
You're Munchausen by proxy experts. I would think you would be the most upset. But you've never looked at her medical records.
Appreciate
and if you have, you've only looked at the medical records that, you know, Gypsy and Christy have given you to look at.
Well, they keep
You've
saying
never spoke to people who can tell you actual things.
Yep. And to me, as long as they keep saying that it's Munchausen by proxy, I'm going to keep saying it's not. I'm going to.
You guys think I'm obsessed. Why won't I go away? Why can't I let this go? Because clearly if I do, the truth gets lost.
She just doesn't sing on here.
I do sing, and we're going to get back to doing karaoke at some point. I just haven't done it. We've been so busy. It has never been, nor it will ever be, Munchausen by proxy.
Nope.
And the fact that there are people still saying this, why am I so upset? Because there's a woman out here that is taking people's stories and appropriating them for herself, for financial gain, who unalived her mother for dick.
Yep.
For dick, and because she has serious mental health problems, Gypsy Rose Blanchard, serious mental health problems that her family and everyone associated with her, including Dr. Fabian, who have done absolutely no work to try to help her. So in all honesty, Gypsy is still a victim of the family. The family. Not just Dee Dee, the family. And I blame Dee Dee for not getting her proper mental health help. I do. It's the one thing I think she did wrong. But if Christy and Rod are all going to just sit there and let her pretend she's got no long-lasting effects, I say fuck you. And I'm going to stand out here and I'm going to scream it from the rooftops because people need to know. Because there's people like Allie who are going through something like this, and she deserves to have her voice heard for her children. And the research needs to be done properly so that we can talk about this in an actual fucking realness. Because it's not doing anyone a damn bit of good to continue spreading a lie.
Oh my God. Who's released the Kraken? Who is that?
I don't know. Ask a question. Go ahead. Ask a serious question. I don't mind serious questions. And even if I don't agree with you, what you want to know, I will still talk to you. Who bought the Pepsi? Hey, which one of you are you? Release the Kraken. Which one are you? I'm assuming you're referring to when I screamed that out in my live when I was actually having a moment of crisis because I was realizing how I was used to hurt Nicholas and how I felt that I wished I had asked more questions, and I wished Bobby would have actually spoken to me when I asked him those questions, because we could have cleared things up much earlier. And yeah, who did buy all the Pepsi? Because Gypsy couldn't drive. Dee Dee wasn't going anywhere all the time. So who bought all the Pepsi? Were they just having it delivered to their home? Was David or Dan or Sebastian?
Like Natasha says, Walmart did a grocery delivery the day before she was involved.
Do I think that Gypsy had or has cancer? I do not believe she has cancer, but do I think it's a distinct possibility that at 5 years old she might have had leukemia that she had a bone transplant for and was given a round of chemo pills, which would be the appropriate actual diagnosis and freaking treatment for it? Yeah, I think it's a great possibility. I'd like to see those records, but they'll never show me those because it'll break their whole story apart.
Yeah.
Walmart didn't do delivery back then, did they?
I don't think they did it back then.
No, they didn't do it till COVID.
Yeah, well, I don't remember, but I don't think so. Well, let's see. I can look it up. Hey, Lala, how are you?
Doing great. First of all, I've seen so many of your videos. You're great. I like your content. My main purpose for coming up here was just kind of to ask something.
Yeah,
so we saw what TikTok did for
2019, by the way, guys.
Gypsy or whatever, made her famous, gave her money.
Hey, Hummingbird.
So my thoughts are, since TikTok might be banned in 90 days or changed completely, what if we took that time to do that for everyone else and followed everyone and watched all videos from beginning to end, like them, repost them?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't cost anything. It's just your time that you're going to be spending on TikTok anyway. So that's basically it. I just wanted to say that and appreciate you letting me say that. I'd like to go ahead and gift you.
Thank you, Lala.
So I
like your content too, babe. I think you do a great job. I've seen you. I've heard you on panels. I'm a fan.
I don't do any videos, so.
No, but you talk. I've heard you talk.
Oh, you have? Wow.
Yeah, I've heard you talk. I've heard you. Yeah,
I kind of like a celebrity encounter for me then.
Even Ryan asked me the other day because you were on a panel, and she's like, "Do you like Lala?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh my God, she was so good on this panel." So,
I didn't know.
yeah, we know.
Awesome,
I know who most everyone is. I mean, honestly, I may not converse with each one of you or follow every piece of your content. I don't watch a lot of content creators because I don't have time. But if I catch you on a panel, I listen. I love listening to other people's thought process on this. I love hearing what you've taken from the information I have put out and how you guys are interpreting it. I love all of that.
Oh, you sent me down a rabbit hole and you set me right, because at first I had sympathy because I didn't know, but then my goodness, talk about a topsy-turvy little tale there.
Well, here's the thing where I'm at though. It's not the same Lala? Oh, no. Okay, then maybe it's not. But anyway.
Yeah, I don't think I've been on
You're not the one? Okay, well that's okay. But I want to talk about that sympathy for a minute if you don't mind, because it's really funny. Because I've spent the last 5 years having absolutely no sympathy for her, even thinking that there was still some aspect of Munchausen by proxy in all of this. Because I believed that in 2011, by her medical records, it all stopped. Okay, so there was no imminent danger in 2015. So I have 100% never justified what she did. Okay, regardless of how I felt. And have I always said that she is who she is because of the people that created her? Yes. Is that all Dee Dee? No. Rod and Christy played a part in that. The Petrie played a part in that. The doctors played a part in that. The other people played a part in that. Dan, David, all of them played a part in that. So she is who she is because of a lot of damn people. But coming up on the microdeletion, and that was the first beginning of me looking at it and going, well, wait a minute. Okay, so if it's actually a condition, what does this condition cause? And when I started looking into that and recently started thinking about like histrionic personality disorder and the cluster Bs and all the all the behaviors that we're seeing now, it really did begin to give me an amount of compassion for the child that was not given the right resources. I think Dee Dee was too focused on the medical and trying to figure out what was wrong with her kid. I think she thought her kid was, in fact, dying. And so she indulged her. And when those kind of outbursts happened, instead of doing what a mother would normally do, which would be to take them and be like, dude, something is going on with my kid. They are acting out. They're doing all these different things, and I'm very concerned. Instead, she made excuses for it because she's thinking, well, this poor girl, she doesn't have a life. life. She's very sick. She's going to die early. I just need to give her the best life. And if she acts out, then I'm just going to take care of it and take it on my own. I'm not going to put her in school so that people can't see this. I'm not going to have her around the family all the time because I don't want her to hurt anybody. I'm going to take all of it, and I take responsibility for it. I'm going to be the person that deals with it.
In which she hid it.
What?
If she had cancer,
Yeah.
they might have taken her out of school because of that.
I know.
Because of the immunocompromised issues.
Right. Right. That's the thing. There is reasons why she was not in school. And now thinking back to this conversation that her uncle Pookie had when he was kicking Dee Dee out of the house, that was her mother's house, her mom and dad's house, the original blue house, which is the house that's 2 stories, not the house that she is trying to claim is 2 stories that, the alleged SA happened in. That's not the same house, by the way. Not at all. So I believe, I think that these people truly did not know what to do for this kid. And in that, she fell through every crack there was. There are people. Truancy Law didn't catch up to Dee Dee. Why? You know why? Because she had a legitimate reason for not having her in school. And she did have her enrolled in school. She had workbooks. She had things. Gypsy even talks about it with Aaliyah. And I have confirmation from the area of the tutor that came to see her when she was an adult trying to help her still and thinking she was a kid because the other people that tutor helped talked about Gypsy. So no, she wasn't just not getting education. Come on, goddammit. She knew what frog jallies were at 1 year old. So I do have some level of compassion for her at this point. And it's hard for me. I'm wrestling with it because I've spent so much time being like, no, there's no excuse, there's no excuse, there's no excuse, there's no excuse. Until I'm smacked in the face with, oh wait, that might be an excuse. If somebody had done the right thing and gotten her mental health help, we might not be sitting here today. But instead, we've got Christy and Rod telling her that, no, there's nothing. You don't have to have registered homeschooling in certain states. Our state, we don't have to register at all.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lala, I'm sorry. I talked over you. No, I'm not upset. I'm just answering that.
Talking, your mic's off.
Lala! No, I'm admitting that Dee Dee failed her. But was it Dee Dee's fault she failed her? No, I don't think so. I think she thought she was doing the best.
And you're getting it at
because back then you didn't bring a lot out, and my daughter was a cleft palate baby, and my my dad's had a baby sister that was also a cleft palate baby. There are no pictures of that baby. My dad's sister, there's 2, but they have her head turned where you can't see her face. Back then, they didn't bring that stuff out.
Yeah.
And over the years, it's getting better.
I think Dee Dee did the best she could at the time period.
Yeah.
I think she hid her away from the world because of that, and I think she thought that was the best thing she could do. Yeah. I don't think she wanted her kid in, possibly take it and put it into, maybe inpatient treatment or anything like that, more than she was already having to go through. I think she thought, I'm going to handle this. And then in 2011, after Gypsy found out about the chromosome deletion and blamed her father for it, Dee Dee found out exactly what was the problem with indulging her and not getting her help, and that was being shot with a BB gun 10 times.
That woman took on a lot.
And had a dagger held over me while I'm trying to figure out what to do. And then she went to a hospital, and she
thank you.
Thank you, Lala. Dee Dee took on a lot.
What do you mean? Okay, Sandra, I don't know if you're new here, but we're talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Anyway. So, yeah, I think that Dee Dee took on a lot. I think that Dee Dee blamed herself. And I think, I've thought about this, and I've thought about this, and I've thought about this, because now this makes the story. Now, granted, we have disproved that the stories she's telling about being chained to a bed or her mother, Angel, I'll get to the proud support in a second, didn't happen when she says it happened. Okay? But here's the thing. If my child, who I was protecting from the world, and I freaking had to go to an emergency room to cover up attempted murder of my life. And then I have to go home and live with this child who is completely out of control, running the streets, have taken her to get proper help. Mm-hmm. But maybe that was the only thing Dee Dee could think to do. Or maybe it just didn't happen. My bet is on it didn't happen. But if it did, I can see the scenario when it did.
Yeah.
It makes sense in that aspect. And she's told us now, she's tried to claim it happened at other times. Now she's claimed it happened in 2011. Well, what all happened in 2011? I can tell you a whole hell of a lot of things happened in 2011. That makes me think, maybe she did. Maybe she had to. Maybe she was tying her up at night so she wouldn't climb out the window. I don't freaking know. But do I think she was tying to her and making her pee on the bed and starving her? No. I don't think that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
Eliza, I can see you thinking it that way, but I don't think that would have been an intentional thing, though. I think if she was intentionally not getting Gypsy help, that would be different. But I don't think it was that. I think she just was a mom who had no idea what to do.
Hey, Tina.
She had this crazy kid, and she had no clue what to do. There are lots of parents that go through that. I've gone through this with my own child and had to get her the help. And do you know how hard it was to get her help?
Yeah.
And do you know how hard she fought me for getting help? But do you know that when she had her child, she came to me and told me, Mama, thank you for never giving up on me and making sure that I was okay and that I can be a productive member of society. Because unlike certain other people that I know that have children with mental health problems that decide that they don't have them, and won't get help for them and call them a lost cause and say things like, well, if she wasn't my kid, I'd hate her.
Oh,
I
thank
didn't
you,
do
Tina.
that.
Thank you. That was sweet.
I stood against everyone trying to get her help. I wanted to make sure my kid was okay when she went out into the world.
Exactly.
I think Dee Dee just thought she was never going to go out into the world, so I think she just thought, I'm doing the best I can. And by the time it became anything else, I don't think Dee Dee had the resources to be able to do a damn thing. And she was worried she was going to get whacked if she tried to go against Gypsy. I think it's also why she did tell her, go with the boy to Wisconsin. At least you'll be happy. I do believe the neighbor that says that Dee Dee had talked about Nicholas and was happy that she was dating an actual regular boy and not some 35-year-old disgusting man who introduced her to, power play at 13.
Right.
15 or whatever. I have no respect for David, Kim, Dan, Sebastian. I have no respect for any of them. Yes, I do.
Yes, she was.
There you go.
Very,
My
very
husband
sick.
just asked the $100 question. Do you think that they were possibly trafficking her without Dee Dee's knowing? Yep.
I asked myself that.
No, I know. No, I agree. It happens. Yeah, she was doing it in the backyard of the shed.
It's supposed to be rampant there in Missouri.
It happens in those kinds of actual. VisaCon is one of those places that trafficking happens, and trafficking is one of the number one problems in Missouri. They are one of the number one hubs for trafficking.
Yep.
Okay. So, and oh, by the way, when I started looking into that at 3:00 in the morning one night,
I remember this.
I was on David Blanchard's freaking profile, who I'd been looking at for over a week.
I remember
and at 3:00 in the morning, he just up and blocked me.
It was you
and then
Ryan.
You know what happened after that?
Ryan.
Do you know what happened after that? All the articles about VisaCon being connected with like the other ones, the other cons that are being
started to disappear
and having people arrested for trafficking. All those actual articles went poof off the internet. They were there.
And also their next event.
Then they canceled their next event.
Didn't it get canceled?
Mm-hmm. And they've not come back since. And their nonprofit has been investigated several times. They've had to move their venue and their place from city to city many times for being run out of cities.
I mean, and just think about that, dude. If that's something that really did happen, that would be that truth would be better than the lie that she's telling right now.
Yep.
I remember that night. That was one of my first nights in there with you.
It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they privated all their videos. They privated everything.
As bad as it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me again how David Blanchard isn't fucking involved.
Give me a break.
Tell me again.
Come on now.
Tell me again how he didn't know she could walk when he sat there and was questioned by the police. Oh, but and then to make it more suspicious.
Bad vibe from him from the get-go, man.
From the get-go. He's changed his story many times. He put his DNA in that room for a reason. But let me think. Let me ask you this. Right after all that happened, Christy Blanchard, like she always does when the big news hits the fan and she don't want it to be out there, she ran to her friend and she put out a statement saying that David Blanchard was investigated at the time of the original investigation and he was cleared. No,
yes, they were. Opal, yeah, they were.
Yes, and they were in charge of raising money for them all the time.
Uh-huh.
Because Dee didn't have a bank account. So you know who took care of all the money for them that they raised all the time? Ken Blanchard. So let's think about this. Then Christy Blanchard comes out and says, "Oh, David was cleared." No, just because David was questioned, and he came in, and only reason he was questioned is because he put himself in the fucking house. And what's his first question to the? Can you tell me? Can she walk? Motherfucker, you knew she could walk.
Are you serious? Right? That one where they interviewed him, is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. And then he does the same kind of bullshit acting that she tries to do when she finds out that Dee Dee isn't alive anymore.
If what you suspect is true,
Yeah.
he didn't have to know she could walk.
Yep.
He knew she could move in bed.
Ooh, burn.
Huh?
Burn. Did you hear what Craig said?
Uh-uh.
If what I'm saying is true about their relationship, he didn't need to know that she could walk. He knew that she could move in bed.
Wow. That's hard.
But think about that. So Christy Blanchard has to come out and be like, no, David was cleared. I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why Fancy's talking about it. It's horrible. I can't believe she's doing this. They were cleared. I assure you, no one was cleared. No one was cleared.
There was
got a confession from a boy who was manipulated as fuck. They got a lawyer who, in my opinion, allegedly for entertainment and educational purposes only, did not just happen across Gypsy Rose.
He was looking for him.
I think he knew her.
Looking for somebody.
I think because his little family is involved with VisionCon too.
Oh,
it's
really?
the biggest thing in the area. That
so maybe
VisionCon.
That's where he found her.
Mm-hmm.
They found each other.
Greg needs to see what we found. On him.
Any of the men that she was connected to at VisionCon said, "Hey, you know who would be a perfect patsy?"
Yep.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be all against it.
No, you're fine. You're making the deductions that I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm laying down. I agree. I think he was more. So why would Christy need to come out? Doth the lady protest too much? And why do you need to come out, Christy, and speak on David's behalf? Why can't David speak on David's behalf? Why can't David come out and be like, dude, I don't know what these rumors are, but I'm going to tell you what.
She's running the show. She's running the show. Their asses were up there how fast after that happened?
3 days. Yep. 3 days. 3. And Mike Stanfield.
I call my daughter Sweet Pea. Oh my God.
Mike Stanfield was assigned to her case before she ever stepped in to Missouri. He was on her case at the day they were arrested. before she was even fully arrested, he was already entering his frickin' bid into the court system as he was representing her. They didn't even know if she was going to be fully charged yet.
No.
And now he's her manager.
Hey, Jamie.
Oh, you think the neighbor also has the laptop and the phone that's missing from the crime scene? Cool. Hey, Jamie, did you have a question, honey, or want to talk about something? Or did you accidentally hit the button, dear? I'm going to assume you accidentally hit the button since you're saying nothing. So I'm going to disconnect you. If you come back through, honey, you're more than welcome to come up. All right, I've got another one coming up. Could the manager have had a different relationship with her too? A lot of people could. She knew everyone. She knew everyone. She was the local darling.
Mm.
They toted her out for everything.
This is hilarious.
Why do you think that the charities aren't going after her? Do you want to know why the charities aren't going after her?
Because prosecuting her would be a bad luck.
Oh, no. It has nothing to do with that. She was brought out for every charity event in the area, for Habitat, Make-A-Wish, the freaking movie theater and all their shit. Do you know how much money Gypsy Rose Blanchard made for those nonprofits? Why do you think they're not suing her?
Yeah.
They can't.
Right.
Because then they have to admit they didn't do their due diligence to make sure she was actually qualified for these things.
Right.
So, there's that.
Yeah.
There's a story there.
There's a story there.
Hey, Fiona. Did you have a question?
Love your name.
I know, I love that name, Fiona. I think it's a pretty name. I'm assuming she probably hit it by accident, too.
Abby has a friend named Fiona.
I know, yeah, she does. Abby has a friend named Fiona.
There
Okay.
was a really cool show on the USA Network about a spy, and the girl in the show was named Fiona.
I think I remember that one. Mac, what are you doing? I can hear something that you're doing. I don't know what you're doing.
I haven't seen Mama in a while, the one that cooks.
Oh, Mama Mariana?
Yeah, I haven't seen her.
Yeah, I haven't seen her in a while either. No, I haven't. You're right. It's been interesting. I haven't seen her. So, I mean, there's a lot more to this, and that's why I keep telling people, this is nowhere near done, and it goes much further than looking at Gypsy and Dealey. There is so much involved in this. This is not your average A to B equals C case. Okay?
Fiona, it's okay.
That's the thing. This is not A plus B equals C. It could have been.
Right.
Oh, she wanted to have relations with a man that sold drugs and was married, and her mama didn't like it, and so she unalived her mom. If that had been the story, nobody would have given a flying fadoodle about Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
No.
It would have been just another fucking story of a murder in the town, and it would have gone away. But that wasn't good enough for Christy Blanchard and Mike Stanfield, who stood there and said if he had to take this to trial, he didn't even know what defense he would use. That says something about how good of a lawyer you are, Michael. If you can't even in your own fucking head come up with a way that you could have defended her in court.
You know what he's saying by that.
Right?
Yeah, you know she's guilty.
I agree, Mo. 100%.
You know she's lying. He knew it. They all knew it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And what they did was criminal. And I'm going to explain it one more time.
I'm just going to say, if Christy really did.
Right. Right, Laura.
Yeah.
Kudos for Christy.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some fucking Hollywood writing level.
Oh, I know. She latched on to Hollywood writers, and that's how she did this. She ain't that smart. She just got people around her.
Uh-huh. Christy.
Oh, it is serious villainy. Serious. But what was I going to say? What was I going to say? Damn it. I had a thought and you interrupted and now I can't think about it. Hold on. Let me see. What was I going to say about Mike Stanfield? I had something I was going to say. Damn it. Oh, I want to explain why what Mike Stanfield is unethical and illegal.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Christy.
If he had launched this type of defense, thank you guys, in a court of law, if he had taken it to trial, and he knew what he was up against, if he had taken this to trial, and he put on the MVP defense, that is 100% legal. He has every right to do so, to give alternate ideas to the jury as to why this could have happened. 100% that would have been doing his job as a lawyer. Instead, what he did, knowing that he could not convince a jury, he said it himself. Instead of doing that, he took the discovery file that was only afforded to him and his client to aid in their defense, and he broke the law. And I'm going to tell you exactly what law it was, so you guys can go look it up, because Patterson told me exactly what law it was. So let me get that real quick for you guys, because I want to be accurate here in giving you this information. Dan Patterson. Oh, and for those of you that want to again know why I didn't get Aaliyah's freaking text messages when I first put in my FOIA request and did all that, Dan Patterson literally told me there was nothing else I could have at that time because it was all held up for Nicholas's appeal. So don't sit here and tell me I should have done something several years ago to get those because they weren't available. See, again, you don't know how the system works. But
you wouldn't have been able to.
Okay, here it is. The investigative records in Mrs. Blanchard's case are closed records under section 610.10.2 and then in parentheses 2, RMSO, until the finality of the conviction of Mr. Godejohn by exhaustion of all rights of appeal. He is currently... No, I don't want the weather forecast. He is currently pursuing an appeal, and I assume... No, I don't think the neighbor girl will talk again because Christy's bought her off. Okay. He is currently pursuing an appeal, and I assume will also file a post-conviction relief motion following his direct appeal. This was dated Monday, July 22nd, 2019. Okay? It is my understanding that the discovery materials that were transferred to HBO were given to HBO by Ms. Blanchard's defense attorney with her permission. Note that this release of the discovery materials violated Missouri Supreme Court Rule 25.09. Hey, funny, I know what this is because I was told this about my own court case in Missouri, which provides the discovery materials, which, by the way, Sarah broke the law doing what she did, shall be used for only the purpose of preparation for and trial of the case. Put that in quotes. If you provide me with a physical address, however, I can mail you a disc that contains copies of the trial exhibits that the court in Mr. Godejohn's case has ordered may be disclosed. So, I'd really like to ask it again. Patterson, you stated right here, right freaking here in 2019, when you could still do something about it, that you had knowledge that the suspect and her attorney broke the fucking law, and you did nothing. Yes, there was a police report made when Dee Dee went to the hospital. Yes. And I have the actual records of her being in the hospital. So, you failed to prosecute 2 people.
Okay, Celeste.
Committing crimes. On top of that, why did you not report Mr. Stanfield to the Bar Association for violating the terms of his license? Oh, I know why. I don't need you to answer, Mr. Patterson. Because guess what? You were in the same documentary and you committed unethical acts just like they did. By talking on that documentary before you even took Nicholas to trial at all.
He sure as shit did.
And all the subsequent ones that you talked on before he ever went to trial, you have unethically prosecuted this case.
100%.
And I intend to inform the Bar Association.
That's right, Mo. Yep.
I'm the only one that has this freaking email from him. I have to. I feel like I'm duty bound.
You're duty bound.
What I didn't realize until much later what this really meant when he sent this to me. Mm-hmm. Until when I saw Nicholas's 2022 appeal, and it was all about the misappropriations of things by his own defense team and how they didn't freaking, they didn't bring any of these things up. They didn't question the jury about it. They freaking knew that the jury was swayed. Is that DA still in office there? Oh, yeah, he is. Uh-huh. Yep. Oh, and his defense attorney who fucked it all up and couldn't give one single answer as to why they fucked it all up and why they didn't question any of this and why none of the freaking documentaries were put into evidence or any of those things. He was questioned by Nick's 2022 appeal lawyer, who I thought was incredible. She was amazing. Mm-hmm. His answer was, I don't know. And now he's a prosecuting attorney in a district of. And you want to know why I won't shut up. Because this isn't just this case. How many other cases have these people done this and fucked up? And you want to know why there's a target on my head and why they all don't like me. And you want to sit here and call me crazy for saying that I was kidnapped last year when I know exactly that I was and why I was. When you're dealing with crazy, they do crazy things. I don't know if you realize that or not. This girl actually murdered her mother and lied about it so that she could become famous.
And the whole family supports it.
So how can you possibly think that they wouldn't go to the lengths that I know that they go to? I shouldn't have ever been in Missouri. That was a bogus lawsuit they filed. And they filed it simply because Christy Blanchard was upset that I called her 9,000 times worse than Dee Dee. Well, Christy, I got news for you. You're like 10 billion times worse than Dee Dee. You gonna call me into court again for saying it? Allegedly, in my opinion, allegedly for entertainment and educational purposes only. If the shoe fits Cinder fucking Rella, wear it. Thank you, Velma and Shaggy.
Yeah. Shoe fits.
Just saying. JJ, are you okay down there, girlfriend?
She got 50 years. Wow.
Pam Smart. Does anyone know who Pam Smart is?
Yes.
Yep. Teacher.
Who allegedly
Got the students to do
convinced
it.
2 students or 3 students to unalive her husband for her.
Yep.
Because she was having an affair with one of them.
Right.
Now, she still says that she did not ask them to do that, but that it was her encouragement of how much she hated her husband and loved that kid, that he took it wrong and he did it for her. Okay, I don't know whether I believe that or not. I stand on the fence with Pam. I'd like to actually talk to her. I've tried to reach out before and then it fell through because that prison doesn't actually have like a J-Pay system or anything, so you have to hope that your letter gets through in their crazy mail. And we had an in at one point in time, but then we lost that in, so I haven't reached out for a while. So Pam is still doing life while the 2 or 3 kids who committed the actual murder are out walking free. So can you ask me why Nicholas has, with his diminished capacity and everything, he's got life without the possibility of parole, and this little bitch is walking around living her best life telling everybody how the D is fire?
Yeah.
No? No?
I just
Can you tell me why Manson died in prison? What, baby?
how bad it sounds to say the D is fire.
Yeah.
Like anything to deal with sex and saying fire, it just sounds like syphilis.
Have you read her book, Craig Sherman?
No, I've heard you talk about something. I've heard you talk about it. It's fire.
Yeah.
Well, then, okay, so first she said that the D was fire. Then she told everybody the D wasn't fire with Ryan, and then she went on to name Ken's D as Sunny because he makes her
Sunny
smile.
D.
So he's the Sunny D. Why does anyone want to know this about your fucking life?
I'll tell you what I want. I want that devil
We
dick.
don't care about the D.
Have you heard of the devil dick? That's the kind of dick I want. Devil dick. Kind of makes you levitate.
No, I don't think so either, Yesenia. I don't think so. He may get the possibility of having a possibility of parole. I'm hoping that might be what happens. And so then maybe like 60 years from now he might. But I doubt it. Like, seriously, I think that ship sailed for Nicholas, and that's why I'm not like off the chain, like trying to do anything, because I don't think that anything is going to help him, to be honest with you. But what we can do is change laws, and we can demand justice for anyone else who would be in this kind of situation. So I'm going to let you know, for anyone that has a loved one that has autism, ADHD, any of the problems, mental health problems, any of that,
Yes.
I want you to put yourselves in the place of the Go to John family.
Right.
And I want you to think about, would you or would you not want justice?
Spoken about. Ooh, my heart's racing right now. It's like really beating.
Yeah, Brad, it's not about the evidence against him. It has nothing to do with that.
No, it's
Yeah,
about.
sadly, it has nothing to do with the evidence. Anyway, Jade, go on.
No, you're fine. It's absolutely about the understanding of somebody that you know with that mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling everybody who is listening right now, wow, this is kind of rough for me, but I know someone. I'll put this as mildly as I can for their own protection. They're 41 years old. Okay,
Yeah.
They'll be 42. Their mother.
You know, somehow you're coming up with something. Go somewhere else. Nobody asked you here. You have done more damage to people in this whole saga than half the other people that you associate with. Go away. All right, Jade, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is
I
the
know how
repeat of what you have.
you're pretty fancy. But anyway, where I'm going with this whole thing is as far as relating, I understand that. I really do. The person I'm speaking of, their mother just passed away recently. And this person I am speaking of is, my gosh, is so sad. Doesn't know how to read, doesn't know how to write. Is just now learning how to use the internet and social media at 42 years old, mind you.
Yeah.
Because has been kept away from, like I said, family and everything. And even when one of the parents was still alive. And okay, where I'm trying to go with this whole thing is,
Yeah.
I totally do understand Nick. I
Yeah.
really do.
Right.
And see, in the beginning, I didn't understand it, and I do
It's
now.
sad.
Yeah,
It's so sad.
it very
Because
much.
the person that I'm talking about is aware of, the situation given. And because of their situation, oh, well, I do the same thing. No, you don't do that. No, that's wrong. And this person doesn't understand.
They don't, because for
Breaks my
Nicholas,
heart. And that's where the awareness needs to be raised.
right?
Because
for Nicholas, see, okay, the autistic brain, we don't think the same as other people. We do have black and whites, okay, and we have a lot of black and whites. But if you can't fit it into the black and white box, okay, and yes, Alicia, you can come up. If you can't fit it in the black and white box and you can't make it make sense in one of those boxes, then your brain begins to think about, well, all these other things. And what Nicholas was seeing was, okay, yes, he didn't want to unalive a person. He tried to do all kinds of things to get her to go a different way with this, okay? But what he truly believed is here is a mother who is abusing the woman that I love, standing in the way of her being able to leave and have a regular life so that she can be with me or anyone else. I just want her to be happy. And he saw that as a reason because he felt that it was more important than the right or wrong of taking her life. He saw it as, I'm being her hero. I'm saving her.
And it's love it's love in a way I can't even explain that because the person that I'm actually speaking of has that same mindset, and it's like it's so sad because
they think that the person they love is being extremely hurt or ABUSED, and then
they feel that connection like that. Same.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. Craig's trying to say something.
Oh, okay.
I saw something on the internet that was talking about how a woman doesn't want a hero.
We don't.
What she wants is a villain. Because a hero will sacrifice her to do the right thing.
Right.
And a villain will do anything to save her.
Right.
Even if it's the wrong thing.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, why does that make sense?
Thought he was being the villain she needed.
Yeah. Taking out another villain. Well, out villain your villain.
Which is why I feel like he created Victor.
Yes. Yeah.
Seriously, that was his
why
way
women
of
are
being
attracted
able
to bad boys. It's why women are attracted to bad boys, because we all think we want the knight in shining armor and the prince and the romance and the flowers and all the things, and he built, he bought my chairs, all the things. Okay, nobody's going to understand what the chair thing is. It's from Phenom with Saturday Night Live. What's his John Travolta? Okay, go look it up. Buying her chairs, okay?
Oh, that's a good thing.
They want you to do all these things, but what they don't realize is that the world that we live in, that shit is wonderful and great, but at the end of the day, I need to know if I walk outside here where somebody is going to do me harm, that man right there will protect me with his whole fucking being. Because that's what he was for me. Was he a bad dude in the back in the day? Was he a bad boy? Did he skirt the issues? Did he do things he shouldn't have done? For sure. But I sure as shit knew if I walked down the fucking street, ain't nobody was gonna fuck with me.
I taught you about walking on the inside of the street.
Absolutely. Like, that's what a woman needs. We need to feel protected because we're vulnerable. And
so
men happen to be one of the most dangerous things to us. But yet that's what we need to protect us against other men. Think about Rip from frickin' Yellowstone or Jax from Sons of Anarchy.
Oh my gosh, my husband has those personalities in him. That's why we've been together.
Too. He does too. And that's why when I typed in my type, the first, the little type in my type, the first two things that came up was the first one was Rip and the second one was Jax. And I was like, that's my man. And my man looked like Jax. All these. So I'm like, that's my guy. That's him. That's him. Because you want that man who isn't afraid to stand up for you.
For a woman.
Can I tell you where that starts?
No.
As a child, as a young man, having friends you fight with. You fight, you roughhouse, you learn your place in the world. You learn that you can stand toe-to-toe, that you are strong enough, that you are brave enough. I had those fights as a kid. You know how many men I've met who didn't? And I can't understand how you get through being a boy and not having at least one fist fight. How do you know where you stand in the world? How afraid are you when you leave the house in the morning?
Right.
God,
I've met people like that, like Dane.
Right.
I cashed my paycheck. I had money in my pocket, and he's like, "Aren't you afraid?"
No.
You know I'm not afraid. I dare a motherfucker to come try and take my money.
Right. Right. Like, hell no. And I can understand you can say that not all women want that, but I'm going to tell you what. Every woman who's in a situation where she is scared and frightened, that's exactly what she wants in that moment. Sorry, it is. Someone to protect her.
I do have
but like with me, I'm the. I'll tell you this: I've fought more men than I have women.
Me too.
So I don't need that in a man, but it's cool that somebody's going to have your back and be there and whatever. But I don't require that. You know what I'm saying? Because this bitch grew up taking care of herself.
Well, to me, I'm a bitch, so I knew that there was going to be times when I couldn't do it myself.
And a lot of times, the person I was with was just like, I'm going to let her take care of this because she's got this right now. You know what I mean? But if somebody's going to physically harm you, I'm going to be in there.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm going to stand 10 toes down and protect myself.
We fighting them together, yeah.
Craig's got a question, guys.
Shit, I forgot it now.
Are you kidding me?
No.
What did you say?
He had a question. He's like, can I ask your audience a question? I let him ask the question. He's like, shit, I forgot it now.
Craig, that was really fast.
I can do it while I'm talking in the sentence.
Right now.
Oh, I know what I wanted to ask. I want a poll of the ladies in your audience. Has a man ever told you when you're walking down the street to stand on the inside or the outside of the sidewalk? Has anybody even ever mentioned it to you?
No, you ain't got to tell me. Your ass is getting hit before I do.
No, but I did have a guy I was with when I was younger that made me walk beside him.
Inside.
Him.
So there are.
You got to tell me. That's so funny.
Yeah.
He left us.
If you're on the outside toward the street and you're walking with a man, that means you're available.
Yeah.
What?
Sorry, I grew up on the street. I know certain things.
He's right.
If you're a man and a woman and you're walking down the street and you have the woman on the street side, that is a code to other men that she's available.
Well, I'm glad I let that motherfucker.
I always walked on the inside because I didn't want to get hit by the car first.
From a man.
Right.
That's just street code.
It is street code. And it's for a multitude of reasons. But yeah, back in the days, it indicated she was somebody that he didn't, that he was putting out there. Now it's more about, the protecting her and keeping her on the inside so that if something happens, like my husband said, well, what if a car runs up onto the street? And I'm like, he's like, I would rather it hit me than you. And I was just like, if he's on the outside, then he can protect me from anything that's over that way that I can't see that he can see, So yeah, I always understood it once he explained it to me. Like at the beginning, I was like, what
about it?
Yeah, I was like at the beginning, I was like, what do you care? What does it matter where I walk? Like,
yeah, but in bed, you sleep closest to the door, don't you?
Yep. He always has, except for in this room. Except for in our room right now, because I claimed that side. But yeah, generally he's always slept closest to the door.
No,
He sleeps closest to the door?
Because when I first got it, I had to sleep on the one side.
Oh yeah.
See you soon, Hummingbird.
Hi, Hummingbird. Good to see you. Hey, Alicia. I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the autism thing.
Hey, Alicia.
Let Hummingbird talk real quick. I'm sorry. Are we talking to me? Yeah, you came up. I wanted to know if...
No, I was just going to say, I am a mother of an autistic child. Yes, he's 3. But I just wanted to give an insight on, Dee Dee's point of view, just a tiny bit on, having a child with any sort of disability. Everything is just so unknown that it's just, you don't know whether you're making the right decision or whether you're not. And, I'm a sick person as well. I wasn't her weight, but I'm diabetic and I've had a blood clot here recently and I've had a lot of stuff where I'm stuck in bed. To get my son to a point, I got to give it to her to get her to all her appointments to keep it all together mentally in her head, trying to, you know, it's just a hard situation because you just never, you know, you're like, I have to still get up, even though, like, probably the best thing for me is to go back to bed. But, you know, it's just one of those hard things that, like, you know, I don't even know where I was going. I just kind of like, it just hit me like,
No, I understand.
it just hit me really hard today. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you're just trying to do the best you can, and you know,
Right, and
like,
you know, and you're learning as you go. You know,
Yeah.
that's just the way it is with a lot of things. You learn as you go.
but I
and
guess
as
that's
long
what I
as
was saying
what you're
about
doing-
school, like why she may have not have put her to school. Like she may have just not had the energy to get out of bed to help her
Right.
get dressed for school every day. Like I know
Right,
I
like you said,
don't.
you know how that feels, right?
It's just
Hi,
like,
Alicia.
yay.
You wanted to talk for a second,
yeah.
baby?
Thanks, Hummingbird.
Be back,
Appreciate
guys.
coming
Thank you,
up.
Hummingbird. Jay, do you want to stay and hang out, or do you want me to drop you down too, honey?
Oh no, I actually did have a question though, piggybacking on.
Go ahead real quick, and then we'll let Alicia talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, has it ever crossed anybody's mind that maybe, just maybe, the lady came up with the name Victor herself, and looking at the photos, in my own personal opinion, does not look like a man's signature.
Right.
Is that wrong with that?
Yep. I think there's a distinct possibility of that.
Just based off my opinion from what I've seen off the internet.
Well, do we know what Dan was obsessed with?
No, I don't, because I haven't.
He cosplayed as a vampire a lot.
So it could mean vampire and maybe not Victor.
Her thought process.
Now it kind of is making sense.
The role playing was her idea.
You just totally made sense to me with that picture, because when that picture of the V came up, and I actually seen that was my own personal observation. Like,
she was obsessed with True Blood. She read Stephanie Meyer's Twilight.
Yeah.
She is a cosplayer. That is what she does. She loves it. It's her thing. That's why she still wears all the wigs and everything.
not come off to me like something a guy would.
No, I don't think he drained some of her blood or anything like that. No, I don't think any of that. I'm saying I think she gave him Victor. I think he said, well, I like cosplay. I think he told her, I like cosplay.
She like that too.
And so then she's the one who started getting him to have those personalities like that. Because it was never mentioned any time before that.
Brain, like literally. And then the other thing too, okay, the other things that I've seen, because I've been following you for like ever, with the messaging and stuff, with the 10th date, I'm very careful with what I'm saying here.
There you are. That's fine.
Does not add up to the day before.
Yeah, no.
It just,
That's 18 where it's a little.
Yeah, I
It just
know. Hey, Alicia, did you want to add some insight into the autism? I'm assuming that's what you wanted to offer insight into, was some of the autistic thought process.
No, there was a question I wanted to ask about.
Okay, go ahead.
What would have happened if she had to get a real 9-to-5 job? I've been thinking about that for months. Because every once in a while I find something,
There's no way she can have a night.
Like now,
a job at McDonald's or whatever.
coming to do it now after getting out of prison.
Yeah, I'm like,
I can't imagine.
they're going to chew her out the minute she does something wrong, the minute one customer.
Right. Yeah. She's not capable of that. She's not. She's not. She's not. And on top of that, I mean, granted, okay, look.
Put aside her disability. No company's going to hire her because she's a felony.
Well, no, there are people that
That's true. I worked with a few felonies at McDonald's. They hire anybody.
They hire anybody. They will hire her, and her parole officer should have helped her do that.
My point being, no company's going to hire her because she's a distraction.
I get that, but she
People are
could
going to
have.
come in just to stalking.
I understand, but that doesn't absolve the fact that she should have to go and have
It should
real
have been a
work.
condition of her parole.
It is a condition of her parole.
Well, I'm guessing they're calling the show.
Yep, that's what they're doing. They're using her books and her show as a real job
And her
for her to
interview
have as gainful
is a job.
employment. That's not.
It's a W-2.
No, that's wrong. That shouldn't be how it works. And I agree with you.
It shouldn't work that way at all.
No, it shouldn't. She should have had to have an actual job to prove that she could, assimilate back into society properly. Not be an elitist.
Yeah, factory work too.
She's not rehabilitated and everybody even knows
That's the
it.
point.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She could get a job working remotely. They hire felons.
Yep.
I know that. That's what I do.
Right. She could have got a customer service job where her little squeaky voice would have been endearing to people.
Oh,
Hi,
God.
thank you for calling DirecTV. What can I help you troubleshoot is your problem? Oh, okay, let me grab the script real quick. Okay, so you've got a problem with your remote. Let's try this. And she could have read a script, and people were like, oh my God, she's so sweet.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
I'd hang up and call back. I'd be trying to get someone else
You
with
can
that.
actually do that.
Yeah, can you imagine her as a
Hey, can I ask you about your car warranty?
Oh,
There you go. What about Geico Insurance? Fancy, I love you.
Oh, my.
yeah, have her be an insurance salesman and give conferences and stuff. Oh my word!
Lord.
Do you know how I know that that's the conversation that DirecTV has? Because I used to work for DirecTV doing it.
No.
I'm just saying you did
What
that
you
pretty
do,
good,
this
girl.
is literally it. This is how easy it is. You don't do any of the troubleshooting yourself. You're not an intelligent person that has the answers. Okay,
No.
you don't have to be that. You're not even allowed to. Even if you know how to do it, you're not allowed to do that. They give you a set script of things. Somebody calls in, you ask them what their problem is. They tell you, my remote isn't working. You pull up the remote not working script, and you have to go through every freaking step with them. And if at the end of all your steps you couldn't fix it, you know what you do? You set a fucking appointment.
Yes, exactly.
That's the end of it.
I can see that. She don't need to be on TikTok answering people's questions, but she could be doing that. Remotely.
For God's
You can
sake.
be selling and do it. I know that. I filled out multiple
She
of
can read. That's the fucking hilarious thing about it. But she was very overprotective.
Your mom was incredible on you.
I know. I love my mom.
Your mom was pretty awesome.
She was. But when I was growing up, it was very hard.
Right. But
She
that's
was not an easy parent to
look at who
grow
you
up
are today, though.
Yeah. Oh,
I'll
she
give
did.
you this about your mom. She was a good woman. She cared about you.
She did.
And she tried.
Yes.
That's more than a lot of moms do.
Yep.
The best she could with what she had, I think. I think that's what all our moms did.
Well,
Well, my mom had
her mom was sick.
my mom was sick, and so my mother, I was born in 1975. My mother had the kidney transplant by the time I was 6. So all the medications that they had my mother on for all that shit now are freaking medications that they've realized cause mental problems. So my mother had issues. On top of that, she didn't live a life where she got to do anything because she got sick at 13 years old. So she lived vicariously through me. I was her whole life. My father was nowhere to be found. You know, he left when I was 6, and that was that. So I've never blamed my mom for the things that happened in her home while I was growing up that were abusive or anything like that. I don't blame her for all of that. But it doesn't change the fact that it happened. And it did make me who I am today. And I am thankful for a lot of it. Because my mother taught me to never take anything lying down.
Right.
My mother taught me to stand 10 toes down and defend
Oh, you
myself.
do. You do.
My mother taught me to be independent. My mother taught me to not need people to help me, to do it myself. You know, I mean, my mom is who made me who I am, and I'm thankful for that. But are there things that mom did
you're
that were
able
very
to.
detrimental to me that I had to work through for years and years and years and years that caused problems in our relationship because of it? Yes.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And my dad being gone, I had big ass daddy issues. I worked through those fuckers, but I had them.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys wonder why I came to this case.
Right.
Because it resonated with me.
It
just
was
like
relatable.
Everyone else.
In a
Which
lot
is
of
why
ways.
I can
Yeah.
see how people put their own projections onto this case in every way, shape, or form. Someone can relate to this case in some way, and it clouds how they see the case until you see it for what it's worth, and then you're like, oh, fuck. That's why I keep telling people, she's not a hero in your story. You're a hero in your story. She is just a person who had a story and did what she did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's not the poster child for the abused kid. She's not.
No.
Not the Munchausen by proxy poster child either.
Haley.
All right, guys. Well, it's getting late, but we did get a late start.
Hang on.
What?
So you have a birthday tomorrow.
I do.
And we should do a live at some point tomorrow for your birthday.
Hit me up. Either.
It's the big 50.
It is the big 50.
50.
50. Oh, yes. We're also going live tomorrow talking about Craig and what it's like to live with COPD as a younger man than what we would normally get COPD at. So he's going to be talking about all of that tomorrow.
Oh, everybody's saying happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you.
Happy birthday, fans.
Just hit me up when you're going to do that because I want to be there.
Yeah, Alicia wants to be there. So
Okay.
that's why I wanted to ask before
All
we...
right. Well, maybe tomorrow night we have Gathering of Crows.
Okay.
Don't we?
Tomorrow's Tuesday night. Yeah, Gathering of the Crows.
So yeah, we can do that, and I can do it here and on YouTube for this one time, even though we try to keep Gathering of Crows over there. But since we just got back on here, you know, and we want to do that, I'll make sure to go live on both. So it's going to be at 9 o'clock.